It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night? My name is Jake Shadell. This is a podcast about reality television and friendship in which I ask my best friend, Thomas Powell, if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how you doing?
Jake, it is the first podcast of 2020.
No one has recorded a podcast this year
this is
except
the first one,
for us.
And you know what that means.
What's that?
Say what? Say what? Say what? First podcast of the new millennium, and I couldn't be more excited that we're going to war with Iran.
Oh, God.
As Will Smith said, the party of a lifetime. So, Jake, my resolution this year is to listen to this song every day for a year. And I think I can do it.
Will you please do that? Please
What?
do that. Please. I want you to do that and keep a chronicle of it on Twitter.
Look, here's my prediction for how it will go. I will continue loving the song Will 2K by Will Smith.
Well, it's impossible not to love it. It's a fucking masterpiece.
I think we can all agree now that we're not too cool for Will Smith's rap career. It's corny, but it is corny in the most fun way, and I think a resolution for everyone should be to give him the respect he deserves.
Everything from the 90s is coming back again. Yeah. We were just talking before we started recording about how female-led power pop is back in the big time.
Yeah, well, I mean, not in the
Will
big
Smith's
time,
rap
but
career.
It's kind of dominating.
Okay.
Like, it's dominating like indie music right now, which is good because it's good music.
The big time is indie music now.
Oh,
back when we were listening to indie music, it was small and no one cared.
That's
now
true.
It's
you had to get it on Napster. You couldn't even buy it in stores.
Now fucking Lizzo's indie. What? Mm-hmm. What is this?
Crazy.
She's the biggest pop star in the whole
Jake,
world.
I'm going to tell you a secret. Jake, I'm going to tell you a secret right now, which is not a secret because I am putting it in the public record. I have never.
And everyone listens to this podcast.
I have never listened to a Lizzo song. I have.
Oh, she's good.
I'm sure she's fine. I have made it this far, and I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna see how long I can go without.
Not even in passing.
I've probably heard one in passing, but I have never recognized it as I have never knowingly listened to a Lizzo song, and I'm just gonna see how long I can keep that going.
Juice.
No offense to her.
Juice is the big one.
No offense to her. I'm sure the music is fine. It's fun when you can miss something like that and then just ignore. I did it with Billie Eilish too, but I couldn't ignore Billie Eilish for too long, which is fine. Billie Eilish is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with Billie Eilish, but same thing with
Lizzo's
Lizzo.
better than Billie Eilish in my opinion.
I wouldn't know, and I'm gonna keep it that way.
You know what? Fair enough. I remember hearing once that once you get to like your late 20s, early 30s, like you kind of stop paying attention as much to new music and things like that.
Yeah, you just have you already have a lot of stuff in your brain, so it just becomes harder to embrace new stuff. And like, I get that.
And also you just have more going on in your life, so like, who cares?
I mean, I do make an effort to listen to new music. It's just that's not like.
But you're not going to be upset if you
about listening to.
Listen to if you miss a new record.
I don't care what the hits are right now. Okay, I got my lane. I know what I like.
I like Liz Phair, and that's all that matters.
And also, I've always had the. I mean, I do like Liz Phair. I've always had the. I've always been a person that will go back and like find old stuff to listen to too. So like those habits are still there. Like.
Yeah, well, it's easy with the internet. It's easy to go back and consume old media when you've got the internet.
I'm what you might call an old soul. I comment on all of the YouTube things for old music, and I'm like, I was born in the wrong decade.
I say the same thing. I come up with the same thing, but on all of the lo-fi
music now is all Justin Bieber. I wish that music now were all Grover Washington Jr. Which is
Did you
not
listen
to brag,
to
but
the
that's something
new?
I've been listening to.
Have you heard the new Justin Bieber song at all?
I've only heard of books. I've never listened to Justin Bieber. I'm so mad, but I am so mad, by the way, that Brandon Wardell tweeted that, because it's one of my favorite tweets ever. That, like, did you hear the new Drake song? No, I've only heard of books.
The only media I consume is Survivor, Thomas. Did you watch Survivor Heroes vs. Villains last night?
Jake, I did. Man, I gotta tell you, there's a reason that this season has a reputation for being the best
Yeah,
of all
right?
time. Because it's really fucking good.
It's
I'm
so
watching
good
2 episodes.
so
I'm
far.
so much more excited to watch 2 episodes a week of this than I was of 1 episode of regular Survivor.
Any show that we've watched over the last year.
It's a big commitment, and I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks we've been doing this, I get done with the first one, I'm like, oh wait, we have a whole nother one to watch.
Yeah, sometimes I'll skim them. Like, sometimes I'll just, like, get the relevant information and just kind of skip through some of the production bullshit because I know how they pace these things. But I've not been doing that with this season. Just letting it, just taking it all in, you know?
Yeah. This episode was called That Girl Is Like a Virus. How do you feel about that episode title?
That sounds like a... Who would write that song?
That Girl's a Virus.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it being like a shitty Post Malone song. But there's too much. Honestly, there's probably too many details. Like, that would require a narrative to his song, because all of his songs are basically just him being like... I'm
Spider-Man and I'm chill.
Being like vaguely sad, and then being like, also I got a cool watch now. And that's like pretty much it. There are no complex thoughts in a Post Malone song.
And there don't need to be. He knows what he's doing, and I like the Spider-Verse song.
If we're doing Old Man Yells at Cloud stuff again, Post Malone sucks. He's not even interesting. Like, he's just annoying. Like, not even really super annoying. He's just boring.
I like the Spider-Verse song, but that's because I have it connected to Spider-Verse in my brain.
That song also,
and I like,
no one is enunciating in that. Like, it's fine. The melody is fine.
It's just a nice little bop. And
I think that's the thing that I really, as far as with the young people music that I won't be able to get around, is just the level of, like, whiny, non-enunciating music that there is right now. Like, like Playboi Carti is, like, a very critically acclaimed artist. Can't fucking stand it. I can't. I just cannot do the, like, weird nasally, like, no, like, I just can't do it.
See, that's one that I've completely missed. I've seen that name around. I couldn't tell you one thing about that person.
Playboi Carti, did you listen to the Tyler, the Creator album that came out this year?
Oh, Igor, yeah, it's probably my favorite album.
He's the guy on Earthquake. He's the guy on Earthquake that's going like,
oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can't get into I just can't get into that.
Okay, fair enough. That's a very good album. The other one that I really liked from this last year was the Vampire Weekend album. Those are probably my top 2 albums.
I thought the Vampire Weekend album was pretty good. I just never really got that into it.
That's fair. I thought it was a good departure from what they had been doing.
Igor,
and A-Punk.
Well, no, yeah, Igor is probably my favorite. Then probably Bandana, the Freddie Gibbs, and
love that guy.
What the Madlib, their second collaboration, and then the River City Girls soundtrack is very good.
No, my favorite album of the year was...
What was that?
Oh, probably the Cats soundtrack.
Probably the Cat soundtrack.
Well, it's just like, we're all going to be saying, hey, it's the magical Mr. Mistopheles.
I didn't think that was gonna be your first poll, so I was gonna riff on it with that, but you've already cut me off, so I don't know. I'm all about being told what Jellicle Cats are and what Jellicle Cats do, but not really.
But not the actual definition of a Jellicle Cat.
Yeah, not actually being told what Jellicle Cats are.
It's like looking up on Urban Dictionary, and there's no definition of anything. It's just like, here's examples of the thing. That's
I don't know
cats.
that I fully understand what they are, but I do have some examples of what they do.
This episode first aired on February 25th, 2010. Thomas, how old would you have been on February 25, 2010?
Let's see if we can do this. I was I was 18 years old.
Was that real? Did you almost make the same mistake?
I almost did it.
How many viewers do you think this got? I would have also been 18 years old, for the record. How many viewers do you think?
I'll say this got like 16 million viewers.
You've got the right digits, but in the wrong order. It's 11.6 million.
Okay.
Still a pretty decent number. Tom tells James that he could have been gentler when he was talking to Stephanie. I like Tom
I like Tom a lot.
I think he is like the kind Travago guy. You know the Travago guy?
No.
How do you not know who the Trivago guy is? Don't you watch sports like constantly?
Who is the Trivago guy?
Look him up right now.
No, you just explain him to me.
He's the spokesperson for Trivago. He's like a very handsome, disheveled man.
Okay, so is he a guy... Trivago is a thing about, like, booking hotels, right?
As far as I can tell, yeah.
Okay, I know the function of this man, but I cannot remember what he looks like, because I do know who you're talking about.
That's why I said look him up.
I only know about him as, like, a guy that they, like, freeze frame a commercial for him to come out and be like, I'm the Trivago guy. I got this hotel the night before, even though there's a sports game happening. People were like, well, I booked on Trivago.
Yeah, that's the Trivago guy. Not a great dude in the real life. But Tom has a similar look, but more... How would I know that?
How would you know that about the Trivago guy?
Oh, because I read the news, Thomas.
What happened with him?
He got like a DUI or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
I mean, that's not good, but that doesn't...
Might as well put him in the USOs.
That doesn't mean he defines him as a person.
No, I know. His whole appearance, though, is disheveled and...
Well, so is Tom's, and we love Tom here. And not just because he has the same name as me.
Well, no, Thomas. You're Tom, not Tom. This is just regular old Tom.
Toms are a sect of Toms, but we are all in this together.
Fair enough.
We're the Marines of people named Tom, but we care about the other branches.
There are a few, but we're out in the Marines. Speaking of, 40's coming up. Ben, he's coming back. Was he a Marine or was he in the Army?
I believe he was a Marine.
Sandra was in the Army, though, so
Sandra was in the Army?
That.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if she was in the Army, but she was in the military. I don't know what branch she was in.
I bet she was in the Air Force. That is my guess.
We could look it up, but who gives a shit about the military? Well, I guess all of us know.
Yeah,
World War III,
that's right.
So Tom and Colby talk. I can't believe you don't know who the Trivago guy is. That's wild.
I know who he is. I just don't remember what he looks like because he made no impression on me.
That's wild to me. At the villain's tribe, Parvati and Russell have a giggle fit in the tent at night. The tent. What is? I
don't like when they show the people all sleeping like very close to each other. It bothers me. It's too horny for me.
Survivor's too horny for you? How did you get through Cats?
Look, I may have been... we already established that I was high through Cats. I was not high watching Survivor.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't
when they started lapping up all the milk while they were sleeping, I didn't like that either.
Boston Rob doesn't trust Russell. Okay. Over on the Heroes
Understandably, no one should ever trust Russell.
Rupert wishes for rain so that the tribe could come together.
He wants them all to do activities in the shelter together.
Rupert's kind of chaotic and good with that.
Yeah, he is. I do like the idea. I do like that Rupert is very committed to the idea of the tribe being like a cohesive unit.
Well, it worked his first time, so it makes sense
I think that's good. I think that's how you should operate. You should be trying to win challenges. You shouldn't be... Your secondary game should be trying to get people out of your tribe, but your first priority should be working together.
There should be a prize for your tribe being more people at the merge.
Yeah. They're the only ones
that people are encouraged to win. Yeah. Have the merge feast before the actual merge, but only give it to one tribe.
Yeah.
But then that
I don't know that I want to deprive everyone of getting the merge feast. That's not very fair, but maybe you give them something a little extra before the merge.
Right. Cuz just cutting people out early is boring, and it's not boring, but it's just like they're playing an individual game when it's still a team game, and that's not as fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Shouldn't be how the game is played. The game is flawed. Call me Russell Hantz. Russell sucks. My opinion on Russell has changed so much.
It is very obvious how he is limited as a player. Like you can't win playing the game that he plays.
Mm-hmm. He played it twice in a row, the exact same game, and he lost both times. But he did get to the end. You know why? Because everybody knew no one liked him. That's how he got to the end.
I think he's also I think he's a a smart, like he's a good conniving player.
He's smart and conniving, but that doesn't mean he's not a GOAT also.
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
I think so.
I think the idea with him is you just don't let him go with someone who played like a good social game. Because if it comes down to basically there's not one person that is clearly like beloved socially, you can get like respect votes for him. That's like the one way he could win, is just being like, well, I don't have strong feelings about the other two people here, but I know Russell played a really good game even if I don't like him.
Yeah, I think it really depends on who he's with, who else is on his team. I think or who's on the jury. I think people like...
But if he were to go
Coach
to the end
and
with someone
Sandra.
like, say, Sandra, I don't know how that would happen, but if, let's say, hypothetically, if it did, that would not work out well for him.
Yeah. Rupert wants it to rain to get the tribe to come together. Instead, they chase loose chickens around the camp. Fun stuff over on the Heroes
tribe. That was the bonding they needed. That was a nice, fun time.
It's good. Back on the Villains tribe, Coach warns Russell about aligning with Parvati because she's a cute girl.
Yeah, there were a lot of like. I mean, look, I think it's not a completely unfounded concern, but the way that they play it up is absolutely hilarious. Where it's
yes. Russell tells Parvati what Coach said, and then in a talking head, Parvati says that she does not trust Russell, even though that she does trust Russell, even though he's a lunatic.
Yeah.
It's just she's miles ahead of everyone else with this game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
At night, Coach tells another one of his stories, and everyone makes fun of him. Also, Russell hides the machete. If it were anyone else doing shit like this, like Wendy did this, Jatia did this, any other number of people hide
Sandra.
Flint, or Sandra did this, yeah. And they're shit on for the most part. Maybe not so much in Sandra, she did a good job of hiding it, but like anybody else, like, it's such a wild move. Russell's very fun to watch.
Russell is committed to chaos, and I respect that about him.
Yes. The next day, Randy catches a clam and then asks everybody if they want to eat some of the clam, and nobody does, so he just eats it himself.
Sandra eats some.
Sandra does eat them, yeah. I liked how, I think it was Tyson was like, I'll just have some and put it back in the water. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I'm sure the clam will be fine.
Yeah. And then Randy becomes upset because Parvati can get by on her good looks and charm. Which, like, yeah, duh. This is a social game.
Yeah. I do like the dichotomy that he presents, because, like, yes, I think that does help Parvati, but the dichotomy that he presents is, like, basically what he's not saying is, like, the reason that I can't get people to like me is because of that. It's like, that's not the reason you're not likable, Randy. It's because you're you.
It's like, I literally wrote in my notes, Randy sucks.
Yeah, he does suck.
It's just like, yeah, I mean, fair. Parvati, very charming, very flirty, very good looking, but also, what are you bringing to the table, bud?
Yeah,
like,
you can't get out of your own way. Like, if you don't have the like surface level charisma that you need, you can play subtly, but he like tries to also be in charge, and he's bad at it, and people don't like or listen to him.
He's less in charge than even Coach.
Yeah, he's just irrelevant. He provides nothing to anyone.
So, you know, they like to talk about like team leaders in the game of Survivor. I think Boston Rob clearly is the leader on.
He absolutely, yeah. I mean, this is a group that he's like a de facto leader, because like nobody wants to be a real leader here.
Yeah, and then I think probably Tyson is the next after that.
Oh God.
Then Russell, then Coach, and that, well,
maybe Jerry.
Parvati's probably. Parvati and Jerry.
Parvati is playing a game where she deliberately does not want to be the leader. She's absolutely capable of it, but she's not trying to do that.
Wow, yeah, which is a great leader. Coach says that they're only as strong as their weakest player. Hint, hint. This was subtweeting before subtweeting was the thing. Well, 2010, I guess it was. People weren't really doing it.
Throwing shade. Coach throwing shade.
At the reward and immunity challenge, they go sumo wrestling, and Tom absolutely demolishes Russell.
Oh, that was extremely satisfying.
Yes, it was. I don't remember if you said it in the recording or before we started recording last week, but you said that Russell is just a wrestling heel, and that's why he's so fun to watch.
He even looks like he could be in the Revival.
Yes, he totally could. Speaking of the Revival, SmackDown Superstars, did you see who returned on SmackDown this week?
I saw that the mayor of Slamtown is back.
The mayor of Slamtown is indeed back on WWE TV.
John Morrison,
and he's friends with The Miz again. Yeah, good. Baby. Yeah, I popped so hard when I saw that.
Big fan.
I watch SmackDown live now.
Big fan of the mayor of Slamtown.
Yeah, he's very good. He's blonde now, kind of. It's weird. He's friends with The Miz. They're probably going to feud with The New Day. And honestly, just thinking about it got me
good stuff.
Really excited.
Yeah, that's WWE has some new people coming in. Also, they have a departure going in their favor because Dan Reichert of Giant Bomb, a good website about games, is going to take over as the podcast producer for the New Day's podcast.
Oh, good.
And I am hoping that this eventually gets us Dan Reichert, Dirty Dan Reichert, manager of the New Day, because Dan Reichert is a very entertaining person. Also, he would be cool. He would be a heel because he is oblivious in an infuriating way. It would be perfect.
Yeah, we can fantasy book WWE later.
I mean, yeah. No, you didn't have to say later. You could have just said that we can, and I would have said yes.
We always can. I've got some ideas for New Day that they're probably not going to do, but I want to see. Tyson kisses JT on the cheek after their bout. How did you feel about that? Did you love it? I
do not like Tyson, but this is probably the last negative thing I'll say about him in the episode.
Yeah. So the heroes skunk the villains. Very good.
I mean, they beat the fuck out of them. It was great.
Yeah, it was 8-0. They didn't even need to do the last three.
The only thing that we were missing was Boston Rob and Tom facing each other and Tom doing a jump punch with the bag.
Ah, that would be so great. Hey, maybe in 40. Well, he's not on 40. Damn, why isn't Tom on 40?
Good question.
Why don't we... who would you replace in the 40 cast with Tom?
What's it?
From the males.
Ben.
Duh. You know what? I forgot Ben was even on the tribe.
We literally talked about him earlier in the show, and I couldn't remember his name for a second.
Yeah, he's probably going to win again.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, over on the villains tribe, Randy knows it's him because Parvati has a pretty smile and a nice wiggle.
Get this fucking gross old man the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. Old man yells at Cloud, but the Cloud is a young, hot lady.
He just sucks.
Yeah. Oh, God. And then Coach talks to Parvati, and he tells her, fear's never controlled me. Flirting's never controlled me. And the entire time, it's so
Coach
obvious
has never been horny.
He's it's like those when it gets so cold it feels hot kind of things.
Yeah.
Coach is so horny that he's never been horny.
Yeah. Coach knows that horny has killed more people than all of the volcanoes in the world combined.
I just loved how Parvati knows, like, she's such a good example of knowing exactly how to talk to every person.
Yep.
Because Coach knows, or she knows that Coach wants to hear about how great Coach is.
She is very in control.
I know fear's
every
never controlled
conversation
you.
that she's in. She's a very, very good social player.
Yes. The reason she's everyone's favorite. Tyson, Rob, Jerry, and Sandra discuss voting Rob versus Parvati, and Sandra says, I'm not in trouble. I'll vote for whoever.
Yep.
Watching Sandra play, it's like, oh, that's right. Survivor's easy, actually.
Yep. No, she's the best kind of Survivor player because she makes it look easy, despite the fact that she's playing like a really tricky social game.
Mm-hmm. Coach says there's no one playing the game who is more honorable than him.
Coach, man. What
Why are you on the villains
say?
tribe then? At tribal council, Parvati says that she just wants to stay true to the tribe. Coach says no one is collecting as much firewood as him because Sandra claimed that he wasn't doing enough around camp. And then they all vote, and everybody votes for Randy. So Randy throws his buff in the fire. That was a good move. I liked that. That was fun.
Yeah, they could have gone for, somebody like Parvati who's a better player, but ultimately, they got the weak link out of there.
Yeah. I think that was a good move. But also I know how the season ends up. Do you know how far Parvati gets?
I bet she makes it to the merge at least.
Yeah. Okay. The second episode we watched this week was called Tonight We Will Make Our Move, which I was surprised by whose quote that was. That was a Tom quote. I thought it was going to be somebody on the Villains, because that's a villainous thing to say, but no. In fact, it was your boy Tom.
It was not villainous
Tom.
either.
I read it as villainous. How do you feel about that episode title, though?
That was fine.
Yeah. First aired March 4th, 2010. How old would you have been on that date, Tom?
I would have been
Again,
18
1
years
week
old.
after, thank you.
This was the month that the Gorillaz album, Plastic Beach, came out. I remember that.
Oh, great album.
It's a
I didn't realize it
fantastic...
came out in March.
The best Gorillaz album, you might say.
I would say that. I
Yep.
would say Plastic Beach, the one that came after it, that's not the weird iPad one, that doesn't count. What's the... Not the
You're
most
talking about-
recent one. The
you're
Now
talking
Now is the most recent one,
You talking
right?
about Humans? Humans is your second best? I think it's fine. It's
I have to look back at the
feels
track
like
listing,
It feels like a
but I look-
playlist. It's too long.
It is very long. That
It's
is
not
true.
really
I like
cohesive
Humans
as an
a lot.
album.
I mix up Humans and the Now Now because they came out so
I think I
soon
like the
after
Now
each
Now
other.
better than Humans, honestly. It's a little more focused.
Which one's the one with Humility?
That, I believe, is the Now Now.
Okay. The Now Now is second. Humans is third. Nope. Demon Days is third.
No, Demon Days. Yeah, I would put Demon Days
God
second.
damn. Humans is fourth? That can't be
I
right.
think the self-titled is better than Humans.
Humans is a high fourth. Self-titled, I like it, but it's got like 3 good songs on it. And granted, a lot of that is
No,
just
it's got like
nostalgia,
5 good songs on it, and they're all really good.
But yeah, that could be any Gorillaz album, though. You can say that about every single one.
But you only have to wade through like 10, maybe 10 other songs to get to it, whereas with Humans, I think there's like 5 good songs, and there's like 30 songs on that album.
There's actually 50 songs on Humans, because it's the same number of humans that are in Gorillaz. I don't know what I'm saying. That was a stupid joke, and that's all I have to say about it. Anyway.
But Humans does have Andromeda on it, which is a very good Gorillaz song.
Yeah, it's a good song. You know what? Now I'm gonna look it up, because who gives a shit? Humans versus Villains. Eh?
Hey,
Ascension is really good.
Ascension's good.
Let's see. Pulling it up. And it's got a lot of really good guest stars. I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah.
We got The Power's really good. Friends is really good, or whatever that song's called. Oh, the Danny Brown song, Submission. I really like that one. Busted in Blue is nice. Let Me Out is interesting. We got The Power. Hallelujah Money is interesting.
See, you're already running out of steam
Moments.
on this one.
Moments
And
is really good.
The thing with that album is there's no high point like I would say the 3-song high point of the self-titled, which would be Clint Eastwood, 192000, Tomorrow Comes Today. Like, I don't think there's anything on that level on Humans.
So the original, like, standard edition has 20 songs, which that is a lot. The deluxe edition has 26, and it also has 2 of my favorite songs on it. I didn't realize that was the extended version, or deluxe edition, whatever. Out of Body with Kilo Kish, my favorite person. Oh, Ticker Tape with Carly Simon, that's a good one. And Circle of Friends is really good too. So
I
actually,
don't
Humans
have
is very
strong
good.
opinions about that album. I think that's
Gotta
that
re-listen.
album's biggest flaw is I do not have strong opinions about it.
You should re-listen to it. And then
I already listened to it, buddy. It did not do enough for me to go back to it.
And the Now Now has a really cool
Now Now's
cover. The Now Now's very good.
Humility
Jack
is
Black's
one
on
of the
it.
best Gorillaz songs.
Yeah. Humility.
I think Fireflies is
Sources.
pretty good.
Fireflies. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't listen to it as much.
It's a good album.
It's only 11 songs. It's not too long. We'll listen to that later today. Good stuff. Okay. Anyway, we start off on the Villains Tribe. Speaking of humans, Coach is really upset that Sandra called him out at the last tribal council and says, "What did I do to deserve that? I've done noble things in this game, and I look ignoble."
Best scene. All of this was the best scene of the entire season so far. This entire fucking Coach segment was incredible.
He starts crying and asks Tyson, why doesn't anybody ever have anything good to say about me? So Tyson gives him some hard truths. How did you feel about Tyson in this
This
scene?
was absolute. This was one of the best things I've ever seen on this show, was him as Coach is crying, just being like, "Stop telling your stories. No one believes you. Everyone makes fun of you for it. Mm-hmm. Stop doing your Tai Chi in front of everybody. People make fun of you for it."
Yeah.
What was the other thing that he said to him?
Those were the two. Oh, I think the only other thing was like, "I can help you, but you're probably not going to like what I'm going to say."
Yep.
I like that Coach was just willing to accept it in that moment. But
just
he
absolutely roasted him, and it was 100% true.
Yeah, because it was like, that was still Tyson's personality, is saying things like that. But also there was like a genuine need to hear it, and Tyson recognized that, and it was good. It was a good scene. Tyson, we like him now. Put him on the Heroes Tribe.
I mean, we don't like him, but it was a great moment.
What if throughout this season, and if season 40 had been Heroes versus Villains instead of 20, they probably would do some shit like this, but every time you made a heroic move, you moved over to the Heroes Tribe, and every time you did a villainous move, you moved to the Villains Tribe. That
would be a disaster if they did that.
I want to see it. Everybody drop your buffs, except for one person. Coach is considering quitting because he feels on the outs, but Rob assures him that he's okay. Now, I didn't understand that impulse. Like, Coach prides himself on being noble and doing the right thing, but then it's like, as soon as he's not getting his way, he wants to quit. Who are you, Colton Cumby?
It's almost like he's a liar. It's almost like he's a compulsive liar.
Oh, interesting thought. Over on the Heroes Tribe, they get a Sears catalog.
Oh, this was great. I loved all this stuff that they had stacked up where like there were like 6 items that had the potential to be used, but they had like an air mattress there too.
So they pick out the reward they want, and then at the reward challenge, they have to slide down a big slip and slide, grab a numbered ball, and shoot it in a basket. This is a fun challenge. I like this a lot.
This was a very fun challenge.
I hope they bring it back for 40.
I feel like the reward challenges have been much, much better than the actual ones.
Oh, because we're actually getting them?
Yeah.
The villains win. Back on their tribe, the hint to the individual hidden immunity idol is in the knife that they won, and Rob reads it aloud. I like that. He was like, "I didn't know what to do. When I played, we didn't have these."
Yep.
Everyone agrees to target whoever goes looking for the idol. Russell goes looking anyway, because that's his whole thing. Russell played the same game as Ben, and everybody loves Russell, and everybody hates Ben.
You know why? You know why? Because Russell does that stuff, but is like playing a fun character, whereas Ben is trying to be like a very straight-faced, just like, I'm a resourceful Marine troop. Whereas Russell is like, I'm evil, and it's fun.
Yeah. Russell goes looking, Sandra follows him, so everybody targets Russell. At the Heroes, the same thing happens. They find the hidden immunity idol clue, and everybody goes looking for it. Tom finds it in his sock. Nope, that would be weird.
That was also fun. The thing where JT read that out loud to everyone was like, I guess I wasn't supposed to read this to everybody.
Tom finds it under a tree and puts it in his sock, but Amanda saw him. At the immunity challenge, a person is strapped in a big ball and pushed by 2 blindfolded people towards a puzzle.
See, this was still fun.
Yeah, this is a good challenge too. The villains win this one as well. So back on the Heroes Tribe, the tribe targets Colby and Tom, but JT wants to take Candace out. Tom offers to give away his idol to build trust, but no one takes it from him. Tom, just a good dude. A solid dude. Let's talk more about how much we love Tom.
Year of Tom.
We could do it. We could watch. What was his first season? Palau, and
Maybe.
then Heroes versus Villains, and then Palau again, and then Heroes versus Villains. I don't think he's played a third time. He's a firefighter, I think.
He is a firefighter.
Okay, Thomas. New simulated season idea. We do a blood versus water season, but everybody just has the same job. So Tom and Jeremy.
I love that. Man, it would be really
Karishma
hard.
and Jason
it
from
would
this
be
last season.
so hard to beat Tom and Jeremy.
Yeah, two
That
wins.
is extremely unfair to everyone else.
I love it. Let's do it. I did a Heroes versus Villains 2 last night. I put together a list, but the twist was everybody was rivals. So there was people who were rivals in their season. Guess who won? I'm not telling you who's on the tribe or who's on the season. It was War Dog.
Oh man, War Dog won, huh?
He won 4-3 to 1, I think.
Who is War Dog's rival?
War Dog was on the Villains tribe, and Lauren was his hero.
Okay, that makes sense.
I was gonna put Kelly in, but I feel like we've seen enough of Kelly.
Yeah.
For the time being. Candace believes not targeting Tom is stupid. And then we go into tribal council, but before that, you know what it's time for?
It's time for wildlife shots.
It's time for wildlife shots. We got a rat.
I think I know what you might be doing.
Oh yeah, tell me your guess before I go into
I think
it.
it's the sea turtle that they did the long shot of.
Oh, you're wrong. I do love turtles, and I'm always
love
happy to
that
talk
sea
about
turtle.
turtles. But no, it was an interesting one. We got a rat. We also got a really cool. I know we don't talk about plants very often on wildlife shots, but a cool. What's the phrase? Not long exposure. Time lapse.
Yes.
Of some mushrooms growing, which was really cool.
Good stuff
we also
there.
got the clam that Randy had, the turtle you mentioned already, fish, crabs, bats, shark, spider.
The band fish.
The band fish was there, just hanging out. Flies, birds, and something called a mud skipper. Do you know anything about a mud skipper, Thomas?
I don't, but I'm looking forward to you telling me.
So there was this thing crawling around on a rock, and I said, what is that, a salamander? A salamander with only 2 front feet? That's weird. So I was looking up salamander, Samoa, salamanders. They're all in America, apparently. Okay, whatever. So it's not a salamander. It's a gecko, maybe? So I started looking up geckos in that area. No gecko that looked like it. I was like, well, it kind of looks like a fish. But if I know one thing about fish, they don't come on land. But I'm going to see. So I Google.
Is this the animal that the Pokemon Mudkip is based off of?
Ooh, maybe.
I think it probably is. Is it an amphibian?
It is an amphibian. It's a.
I think it probably
is. It's an amphibious fish.
Yep, I would bet money that Mudkip is based off of the Mud Skipper.
Yes, they do look very similar, although the Mudkip has more feet. I Googled fish that crawls around on land, and immediately it knew what I was talking about. So they're a greenish-brown fish that can be up to 12 inches long. Their heads are flat, and their eyes protrude from the top. Did you see this, Thomas, or were you not paying attention? I just asked because I want you to look up what it looks like.
I think I
wild.
did.
They have small pectoral fins that they use like legs when they're on land. They have been observed leaping up to 2 feet. That's cool. I like it. To court females, the males will develop colorful spots and then move energetically in front of their burrow until the female picks them, and then she will lay hundreds of eggs in the burrow and leave for the male to fertilize and guard the eggs.
I'm a big fan of this animal.
It's so cool. It's weird, but I love it. When they're on land, they'll use the water stored in their gills to breathe. What is the deal with amphibians? Can they breathe water and air, or do they decide one or the other, and then they just breathe more when they need to?
Jake, this is only vaguely related to the Mud Skipper, but did you ever this was last year, I believe, that this was going around. Did you ever see the video of the tortoise that cries like a man?
No, I don't think I have.
It is not an authentic video. It is a
Wow.
video where someone had like a big snapping turtle and it kept opening its mouth a lot, and they just they dubbed in they dubbed in like stock screaming sounds every single time that it opened its mouth. But it was
That's good.
especially notable because of the video title, "The Tortoise That Cries Like a Man."
An IGN article opined that Mudkip isn't anything very special.
How dare they?
The ecology of the Mudkip is similarly bland. Wow, so rude from IGN.
Well,
No,
I'm more of
thank
a
you.
GameSpot guy, so yeah.
Well,
that,
GameSpot's
IGN.
Greg Casavin wrote that Mudkip fits in well with the tried and true classics like Pikachu,
See?
Psyduck, and Coughing.
See?
Hey, why don't the New Day ever dress up like Pokemon, and Kofi Kingston can be Kofi Kingston?
That's it's an interesting thought, Jake.
I told you I had some ideas for the New Day.
Well, you should talk to Dan Reichert about it. He can give it to him on the podcast.
I'll write in. Have you listened to their podcast at all?
No, I haven't. I bet it's good.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's just three dudes hanging
They're
out.
three entertaining people.
Yeah. Also, they had a promo on SmackDown this week that I haven't stopped thinking about. It was so good. Big E is just a treasure. That's all I'm saying.
I
Big E
love
is
me some
kind of
Big
the
E.
Tom of the WWE.
I couldn't
in that
agree
everyone
more.
loves him. At Tribal Council, Rupert says that he's keeping his word, even if it means it's a bad vote. Okay, Rupert. They vote. Tom places idol. Negates 3 votes. Colby gets 2, and the other 3 go to Suri.
Great stuff.
You love to see it. You don't. So if the 4 times Suri has played, she's made it to nearly final tribal count, like the last vote before final tribal council twice, and she's been screwed over by an advantage twice. At least one advantage, I should say.
This one, the thing is, like, the thing with Suri is that the Suri thing only works if people don't fall for it. Or, I mean, if people fall for it.
Yeah.
And I think the minute that she gets too much attention on her, she can be gone very quickly. And unfortunately for her, Tom was a very smart player, and he knew that was a good early target.
Yeah.
Because you got to get her out early, otherwise she'll stick around for a long time.
Yeah, she's very good. I don't know. She'll probably win season 50. They're probably going to do Legends for season 50.
You think they're going to pull a little bit of a Boston Rob?
I think Suri would be more well respected than Boston Rob if she won on her 5th try.
What I'm saying more specifically is production maybe gives her a little bit of a hand.
Oh, you mean a Ben?
Well, a Ben, but also the year that Boston Rob, a lot of people think production
Oh, really? I haven't heard that.
had a little hand in that happening.
You know,
If they were going to rig it for anyone,
Yeah. I haven't rewatched the season he won because it's one of the worst seasons of all time. But, I mean, I have no reason to not believe you. Except that Survivor would never do something like that.
Oh, never. Of course not.
No. How could they? It's the year of Sandra. Use the hashtag YazQueen. Year of Sandra. You can get it. Next week we're doing 2 more episodes of Heroes vs. Villains. Thomas, I think you're gonna have strong reactions to the 2 episodes we're watching next week.
Wow. All right, then.
Yes. Winners at Wars. Like a month and a half away. Man, I always forget how short the winter season is.
Yeah, it's a small gap, and usually we have like Ms. Christmas movies to put in here, but not this year.
Hey, you know what? Even though we didn't celebrate Christmas with a Christmas movie, we did talk about The Miz on an episode near Christmas.
That's true.
Because The Miz and Morrison, they're back together, and that's good. Charlie Caruso, or whatever her name is, knocked on The Miz's door after his loss to Kofi, by the way, and then the door opened, and guess who it was? John Morrison.
Very
And
exciting.
Davey Rickenbacker was there for some reason. I don't know.
Why not?
Still. Man, I'm just waiting for them to make some reference to Survivor when he's in the ring. just like let it happen. Also, over the course of this last week, I came up with an idea for a new point for our predictions next season.
Sure.
So I'm very excited to unveil that in the early part of next season. You can follow us on Twitter at DYWSLN, or you can follow me at Jake Scheidel. Thomas, what's your
Follow
Twitter?
me at Tom.Tom.
You can review us on Apple Podcasts. I feel like it's been a little while since we've gotten the boilerplate review. Let me hear it. And remember, this is a Jellicle review.
Of course. The review is, this is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all of the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up.
Love it. All right, have a great summer.
Deuces.
I wish you could swim like the dolphins, like dolphins can swim. No, nothing will keep us together. We can beat them forever and ever. We can be heroes just for one day. I will be king, and you will be queen. Though nothing will drive them away. We can be heroes just for one day.
You want to hear my New Day idea?
Sure.
So, you know, Xavier Woods is out on injury right now.
I do know that.
It's going to be a long one. I
Austin
want them.
Creed.
Yes.
What his real name is.
He is out, so I want Biggie and Kofi to go on a heel run and then have Woods come back and be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? No. And then once he comes back, they can come back together and be the good guys. We know they all are. I think it's a good idea. I don't know why I'm not ready for WWE.
I think it would be an interesting way to go.
Thanks. That's all I'm looking for. Alright. Do you have any ideas for the New Day? Do you have any fantasy booking you want to do?
They break up and Biggie wins the title. That's
New
all.
Day's never.
I know that they're not going to, but I need Biggie to be a monster heel and win the title. So do like a Mark Henry Hall of Fame type thing.
I hope that John Cena comes back and Biggie pretends that he's going to retire and he
And
wears a
he
salmon
wears a
suit.
salmon-colored suit. I was in attendance at that.
I know, I think about that all the time. God, that was such a good...
I've been to one Raw, and it was a really good one to go to.
I've also been to one Raw. I don't remember what happened, but I do remember watching Biggie shake his ass.
Hey, why not?
You know? They know what they're doing.
Caked up on a Monday night.
We can be heroes. We can be heroes just one day.
Hooray! We did it!